Welcome to Basket Weaving 101, Baskets by Jen, and the main Adirondack pack. First thing we're going to do is we cut our materials at 50 inches for the verticals and 54 inches for our horizontals. Now we need to find the center. Center is very, very important in this process. The way I find center, generally, is fold them. If you're taking one of my classes, centers are already marked for you. So we're going to look for the good side of the bad side. Here we have the hairy side, the bad side. That's going to be up or in. So let's match up our lengths, get the centers marked on these, and weave a basket. Mark that center. Okay, this is a template I designed that you lay the reeds exactly on top of them, of these spaces, and you'll have the correct bottom. So here we go. We're going to take 2 horizontals. I'm going to cover number 1. This one I am going to find the center and cover the second one. And over here I have my verticals. Cover number 3. I put some in my lap and some to the side. Whoops, I've got one going here. Here it is. Let's go. I have a 1-inch piece in here. Okay, so we have those laid out. We've already woven our first one here. And let's grab one and put it on. I want to go under here. I went over and I went over. So these I want to go under right here. Use the hand you're not working with to hold down your base just till you get lots of pieces on there and can't fly around on you. Number 6. I need 2 pieces over here, 7 and 8. I try to start at the center and work my way out. If I have a piece that has a curve, I bend that to the outside. Yeah, so you get a lot of pieces going here. That's why the template makes it handy. There we are. That is 8. We've got 9 over here. Till you get a few pieces going in each direction, that will help lock them in place. So we have 10. Those little marks came in handy. Now we're going to do number 11, and I have 1 inch, that's all I had, soaked up at the moment, so I'm going to use that. And there we go. One more. Last one, number 12, down here. There's my mark. It's in the center, so we are perfectly laid out base here. Now I told you if you have a bent one it should curve out. Now I'm going to make myself redo this one because it does have a bit of curve. So this basket lays out the same whether you have the template or not, but the template I use in my classes, it just helps people. One more little advantage. See if this if we've got it pulled out and it's the right size. Take our base. There, that's pretty good. This is good. It's covering all of that. Perfect. What I did while you were away is I had a piece of dry material, and I know better than to try to use dry material, but I did it anyway. So I took the spray bottle and solved that problem. Well, let's talk about the base first. It's a piece of Luan or the thinnest ply you can get. These little straps have been added to it. They're not difficult to make, but it keeps it off the ground and makes the base nice and sturdy. Then it has this at the top, so we're going to make a basket sandwich. Gently get that under there and make sure you fit on all 4 corners. Okay, now you want your holes to all be the same size. When you pick it up, you're apt to wiggle it and things happen, so be patient. The weaving goes quickly. The setup, like anything else, the setup always takes a bit longer. than we'd like. So down we put. The man who makes these for me is very generous to countersink them. And put these in with a screw gun. The best for last. There we go. I think I probably told you in the directions, and I forgot to do it, to use a stiff piece for number 3 in the back, because we're going to split it, but you can split it now. I'm not in the habit of picking out a piece or mentioning it. I do always choose a stiffer piece. I forget to mention these things. So we have a split. We're going to need that to change the weave from odd to even. And if the split is at the back, right back on there so you don't forget. Front makes a difference because this is going to be our belly. We're going to upset the spokes all the way around the basket. Now, when you buy the pattern, we will have a drawing of the runners, how they're made. So if you can find a crafty guy who lives near you, it saves shipping, but if you need to order them, we do carry them. And there we are. Now, we need a weaver. So for the first piece of material, don't want to start with a blunt end. It doesn't look good, it's not functional. So what I want to do is take your 5/8, bad side up, put a taper at least 4 inches here, and you'll start with a nice gradual taper. I love clothespins. These are my favorite clothespins. This is a lady and a carpenter and a lady on Facebook, or Kevin's Quality Clothespins on Etsy. Now put it here. Use them until you can't, until they get in the way. You're going to come around the corner, you're going to lift up. I went under, over, under, over. Most mistakes you make at the corner because you are changing things. So if you have a mistake, look at the corner, look at the split. Those are the 2 places you tend to make mistakes. Going to stand this one up. I want this back corner to be nice and true. We're going to stand it up right there very smartly. Go around. Around. Now, turn your basket, not your body. This is not exercise class, this is basket weaving. Gonna go a little loose. The belly's gonna flop forward so that we get a nice gradual belly. So we've left this a little bit loose. We're going around here. We're gonna leave this one a wee bit loose. The front can flop down to form that belly. To come around this corner and stand it up. We really want this to be a nice crisp corner because this is going to be on your back. Not crisp, not creased, but crisp. Squared off. Let's go. We came to the split material. You can see how these now are, it changed the weave. We were over, this gave us another place to go under and over. So it's called randing. You go round and round. Let's see, let's get this stood up smartly here. Keep going. Keep your rows down as best you can. It takes till the 3rd row for everything to stay down. The 1st row you lift half of the spokes. The 2nd row here we're lifting the other spokes, and the 3rd row is going to hold it all together. So when you're working on a basket, no basket's going to look good till the 3rd row. It's just not going to happen. Don't try. See, I've got a little bit of a space V going on there, which is what I want. I only work on the table until I've gotten my 3rd row on. I don't like to work on the table. I tend to not have as much control of my basket. So I'm going to get you the 3rd row around. Right here you can see, got this stood up nicely. going behind that one. That's what it looks from this side. So you're going under. There we go. Keeping these down. Up this side. Now there's your corner again. The front, the belly. See, it's going out just a little bit. It's a slight V there. There. And turn, turn, turn. Keep those rows down and turn. Nice little corner there. Now after the third row, I want to pick this basket up and look at it a little differently. So I'm a lap weaver, and I put things here and look at one side at a time. See, I want that corner to be as squared off as I can get it. And I look for what I can go under. And I go under that one, turn the basket, under, square the corner a little bit here. Always watching the shape and only watching what I'm doing. It doesn't matter what's happening on the other side. I'm not over there right now. So, here we go. See what I meant about that? The belly, it's getting a little wider there, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Now it's time to add a piece. When we add, we don't need to taper again, because the taper was only to start from a very blunt stop. What we do here is we go behind one, over one, behind one, and over. Tuck this inside. So I have the end that was behind is covered up, and this is covered up. So it makes a very nice clean inside. Turn it around. I use my finger as a gauge to hold this, get this, to give me that little bit of belly I'm looking for. You can stand and do this, you can sit and do this, whatever's comfortable for you, but working straight down on the basket does not work well because you tend to pull too tight. And pulling tight makes it very difficult to finish this basket. So going around here now, how does this look? This looks good. I want to make sure my rows stay down. There are two ways to get your rows down. You can use a tool or your fingernails or a popsicle stick or a small screwdriver, whatever you've got, and pull this way. That works. It's very effective. I don't care for it because I have to find the tool. So I pull. I hold with my thumb at the bottom and pull. Let's turn it. And if I wasn't careful, right there I could have pulled it in. This is what happens when you pull too tight, your basket goes in. So you want to control every bit of it. You don't want it to work it willy-nilly and have it do what it wants, or just what happens. You want to control it. Oh, here we go. Again. And there's the overlap. It's right here. And this is, you wouldn't want to have two overlaps in the same place. That makes a thick spot and makes it a little harder to control. You can do an overlap of two, and I prefer that you do that if you're on a corner, because you don't want any thick places on your corners. Corners and the split are where you make your mistakes. Don't know why, just happens. That's the first place I go if I make a mistake. Again, here, don't crease this, don't snap it so it is on the verge of breaking. Just round it nicely. Square it off, but don't crack it. See that one it would go in a little if I let it. So I'm going to hold this out. That's why I'm shaping each row as I go. Don't do any overlaps on your corners. Don't go around the corner, and it makes it too thick, and it makes the next row much harder to work with. Now we're going to tighten to give our belly a nice little round face. You can do this in front of you, upright. Let's pin it because we're going to tug on these things. Upright. And I do need to add a pin or I'll never be able to keep it from slipping. Going just upright on the end. Tug on those front corners where we expanded. Now we're going to tighten it up. Go around. Here I find it's much easier to put these down if they will, but the one with the stiffener won't flip down nicely. Square up the corner. Don't get too tight because you've got to put your rim on, so leave just a little bit of space here. And as you come around, pin that. And see, I brought it in just a little bit here. Hopefully you can see. You will be able to after about 2 rows. These are my favorite ginormous clothespins. They're from a lady and a carpenter. And they're either in Washington or Oregon. And they hand make all of those in the United States. And they're the best clothespins ever. They're not cheap. They're a little over, you'd be $1.80 a piece if you buy a small package, but they do a great job. Square up your corner. Don't crease it or crack it. Just gently bend it. The lady and the carpenter sell their products on Etsy. Check out their shop. They're very nice people. These clothespins are going to last a lifetime. Now if you can start to see the belly now. Here, you've got it just a little bit, a bulge here, and tighten the corners. So we're going to add some color, and because this has the split and it's the back of the basket, I'm going to add the color by going back 4 spots, just like I'd add anything else, and continue weaving. Don't put your color, don't plan on your color too far up on the basket because it will be covered by the harness or your rim. When using color, dampen it, wet it, use a spray bottle, don't over wet it, because it will run on your basket. So just be gentle with the water. It's just a nice accent so you can tell your basket from everybody else's basket. This is a smoked reed. It's 5/8 smoked reed. Same size as what we were using. Subtle little stripe. Again, you can't see your harness, but it's going to be up there, and you don't want this part to get too busy, so don't use a lot of color. On your second one, you may decide to do more. Now my belly, it's not a huge belly. See, I pulled in a little bit here. I'm going to end this right here. Just a bit of color. And we'll go back 4 pieces. 2, 3, 4. I don't do it at the rim unless the piece is nice and supple. If it's too stiff, don't go back that far. Don't do an overlap on the split. Keep going. Let me see if I can bring that belly in just a wee bit more. Okay, we're getting near that top. Nice shape going here. This is going to be your back, so you don't want it poking out too much. And it's easy now. You can flip this thing around on the table and it helps. Now don't get too close. Again, you've got to put a lacer through here and you'll understand better later. So you don't want your pieces to come tight together. If you do, we'll have to use a narrower piece for a rim. If you've come in too much or you're not doing a good job on your belly, the trick is take your scissors and take some of the material out. Just take it out here. I've done this on a lot of baskets, and I saw it done on Native American baskets. Pull that, so you're going to take some bulk out in here and it'll be easier to bring it in. So we've taken out quite a bit here. Now let's keep going. See, we've gained some space between them. So we've come around, all the way around to the back. We're going to switch to a smaller size to use under the rim. We're going to use 3/8. This is 5/8 we've been weaving with. So I'm going to go back taper just enough to add the narrower piece. Here, right there. So now I'm just going to add this little piece. This is going to be under the rim. And I noticed as I came around, I'm kind of snug right here, and I don't know that I like it very much. So before I do that, I am going to take a little out just to give me some more room to work with when I put my rim on. Take a little out there too, like that. So, this on. Ooh, that one got really short on me. That happens. We didn't have to weave it this tall. I just started running out of room, so I thought it would be a good time to stop. And remember at the beginning we tapered. We're going to taper this a bit so it's as level as we can get it. It's always going to be a little awkward because you started at one height and added. Let's make this work. Put a nice gradual transition on this top row. There we have it. Nicely. That's a little bit. This is your last opportunity to tug those up and make them nice and tight all the way around. Now I'm going to bend over the top. This is a tricky part. You need a popsicle stick. Pretend this is a popsicle stick. It's an awl. In a basket kit comes a popsicle stick, but let me see. We're going to bend over all of the top ones. Normally I would bend over only the ones that would go inside, but because this basket's going to get a lot of use and abuse, we're going to bend the ones that will come out this way as well. So I'll show you what that's going to look like. Put this in here, make an opening. Now I checked this to make sure it's going to go behind two, and I won't have some ugly piece sticking out. But there you go. That. In here, same thing. Go inside, lift, make an opening. I bet I have to bend this piece a little right here. Make a little curl in there. So the best way to do it is to do all your inside ones and then your outside ones. So you're not switching. I use my fingernail to, or you could use the tool to simply move this here and go inside. I don't know if you can see that right there. Go inside, push it down. What I'm doing from the outside is just making a space inside. So this here is going to go in there. See it right there. Pushing it down. I want to push it straight to the next one. There. And this one. See, it's going to be hidden back there. So I want to open this up. There. There we go. These stiff ones have to come off. They just can't be bent. That's okay, they've served their purpose. They've made this a nice rigid back. And you may or may not have to bend one over. This is going to be, it's a little tougher on your hands. Your hands are tired after making a basket like this. So don't be afraid to ask for help. I've been doing it for so long I can do them quickly. Or wait and come back to it later. If you want to come back to this tomorrow, let your basket dry so these pull down nice and tight so you can pack this basket really well, do that. Then simply take your basket, put it in some warm water, only don't get your color wet if it's up close to the top. Dip that top, pull all the pieces down now when it's dry, and it's a good opportunity to rim it that way. And you'll be fresh. In a class, to do it all the same day, it's a little tougher. So in and out, do them all. Like I said, on a smaller basket, I would simply cut the ones to the outside off. But we own them, it's good material, and it will strengthen the basket that much more on something this large. That one's too, see, it would be sticking out down here. I don't like that, so I'm going to snip it off. Love these snippers. They're Fisker's snips. Hard to find if you can get some online. Good tool. Or Fisker's scissors. I use those for the first 30 years. Both good tools to have. If you want to cut close to your top in this, we have this one sticking out. We aren't going to be able to bend it. Go down inside, lay your shears. Your best cut is when they lay against the basket. If you try cutting out here, you've got this gap. So let's not do that. Let's get inside and snip it off. And there we have our basket. I have cut some half-round material. Not very pretty, but it's going to be very sturdy on our basket. We need a utility knife. Going to taper this so I can make a nice overlap, not lumpy. And I want to do that, put it inside the basket, and I want my overlap in the front, inside, so it's not ugly. Make this bend the way I want it to. Going to set this under, this is 3/8, this rimming material is 5/8. So I only want to cover this row. I'll show you why in just a moment. Clothespins as close as you need them. I'm going to bend this so it's nice and tight into the corner. This isn't the nicest stuff to work with, and you need to soak it a very long time, an hour or two, but will make the sturdiest rim that you can. So There, Lily manhandled the stuff. And now, for inside we tapered, well, we're going to taper the underside of this. So, the transition is nice and smooth. I'm going to take it back a little bit. Use the knife. There we go. Pins. Pins. The most important part of pinning a rim is to have it very tight to the rim. Remember when we started, we had the D, we talked about a D. Well, there's your perfect D. You have flat across the back and rounded in the front. So now the outside rim. Again, I'm going to taper this down a bit. Now in the fixed spot where it ends. And I like for the inside to look, the top of my rim to look nice, so I'm going to put a piece of round reed in there. Our round reed, which we have plenty of here, is going to sit on the top, right underneath, and pin here. We're only covering that top row of material. Only the top is getting covered. That's why we only use 3/8. We want to pin, pin, pin. Pins are your friends, especially at this point. And this particular basket or large baskets are why I love these clothespins, because they will hold anything. These will hold jeans on the clothesline, whatever you need. And when you come back around, there's no room to overlap your round piece here, so we're just going to butt them up and cut them off. Now, remember we have to do the underside taper? Underside tapering. There you go. We've got a nice sturdy rim on this thing. So I'm looking for 3/8 flat. I'm going to poke this down inside. Find a spot, do just exactly what we did with either a bent tool or an awl. Push it in there. Make room. I'm going to take this pin off so you can see. Now generally, 2.5 to 3 times around the rim will give you enough material. Lacer. And if this thing could be 20 feet long, you don't want to drag all of that. I've poked it down inside. Now I'm going to try wrapping this. That's 1 full time, 2 full times, and 2.5 times around. That should give me enough, and I don't have to drag all this extra through. So, the fun begins. And again, this is hard on your hands. If you're working on it the same day. So coming back the next day is not a bad thing. Alright, we have the bad side down. We have a nice, smooth, soft, supple, the best piece you can get to do this top rim so it doesn't get shredded. I have the awl we started with, and I'm going to make an opening underneath that top row. Put this in right here. And pull. Now I don't want to look for the top again, so I don't want it to twist on me. I'm just going to park it here for a minute. And then pull, pull, pull. Flip it over, pull, and this is important. Get it as tight as you possibly can. Because this basically holds the whole basket together. This is my very favorite tool. It's the bent tool. And I can make that thing wiggle that apart so that I can get in there. Pull, pull, pull. The first two you can't pull quite so hard because you just started and it'll pop right out, which is aggravating. So not only do I pull with this hand, but I'm pushing with this thumb as well. When I get to this point, see it's kind of loose. You don't want loose. So pushing with the thumb, the finger, the thumb, around, tug. Again, The good news is you're at the end. And this material should be very wet so you can shape it. So 2 hours in the bucket for something this heavy. I had to go hunting for something this heavy. 2 hours in the bucket of hot water is not unheard of. It's about how long it takes most people to make a pack. My classes are generally 4 hours so that I can help everybody. It takes me roughly an hour and 15 minutes to make one this size because I have all the materials ready to go. Really pull this out because I want it to be snug. I also don't want this little bit right here to catch, so when I come around later I'll trim that off. You don't want it to catch on your clothing or something that you're sticking in the basket. The downfall of many old pack baskets are mice. What I find when people ask me to repair a pack basket is that they've left some food residue at the bottom of the basket. A mouse has gotten in there and chewed its way out. So if you're going to store this basket, store it hanging upside down. Mice won't get in. If they do, they fall out. And no food in it. It'll save you a perfectly good basket. This is a lot to hold together, this stiff part, but it's worth it in the quality of the basket you're able to produce. That is a nice snug rim. My dad used to buy pack baskets made by the native tribe here, and he used them for ice fishing. He used them for everything, hunting and ice fishing. But his favorite quality is that baskets were made out of wood, ash, that he could sit on the rim. And so it made his stool. I'm not sure you could sit on the rim of this. The reed is not as heavy as ash, but what a thing that was to see. That's why you want nice sturdy pieces. If I didn't have enough, I could skip this hole here, do this one and this one. So there are choices. So you really want to push it and pull it, and you want these to butt up close, right there. I think I am going to skip one because there's no need to go in that one, the middle one. This is where I really like to hug. One of the things I did and forgot to mention is as I was coming around here, this was a little low. Actually, I think I'm going to take it back out. No harm, no crime, no foul. Because my round reed's pushed up too far. Take this back to here. And where we had overlapped, this is higher, so I'm going to make an opening. So this is still under the rim, but I can lift the rim up just a bit to get a nice top. It still doesn't want to stay down in there, but I can wiggle it down in there. There's our rim. A little bit of loose here, not much we can do. That's because of our stiffener spoke there in the back. So we're going to live with that because it serves a really good purpose. Now the last bit, I want to make an opening. Maybe I'll go back here, make an opening with this and push it down into here so that it's hidden here. Takes a little bit of wiggling, but you're almost done. You'll get it. Whoops. There it is. Push it down in there. Get it from this side as well. Ooh, it's very tight. That is a good thing. And a bad one. So we dig out 2 tools. Popsicle stick, whatever you've got. There it is. See, it's tucked there. You can trim it off. And there we have it. So I'm going to use a little bit of elbow, a little bit of oomph. See, I worked it. It's okay. I want this to fit tight at the back and bulbous at the very rounded at the front. And now is the time to bend it, because once it dries, there's no bending it. Here's our D. And you can do it all now. This is wet enough. A pack basket. Oh, I told you I didn't like this little bit right here. We're going to take that out right now so that it doesn't catch on anything. Take your knife, run it there, rock it. See? Cleans up nicely. There, now we no longer have the little bit. Just poke down in there. Everything's tight. And we have made a pack basket.